I'm going to say hi. Sorry. I know that nobody's on here on the chat anyway, so I don't do a whole lot of live streams, but I feel like it's important that I do one this evening, especially after the day that I've had with my experience with this energy. I want to talk about that. So I'm going to just give a couple minutes here. Do have some notes along with my class notes from astrology school, which are a little more in depth. I will start talking in about a few shuffles, or as I shuffle. Hello. So I want to first just thank you and everybody that joins in as they join in. Hold on a second. I have something really. Sorry. I don't know why. I have a little thing here. So anyway. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Hi. I'm still a newbie to the lives, and it just changed again. So it's quite a full-time job just keeping up with all of the different bells and whistles added to social media. How are you? We're in some ever-changing energy, and after I had kind of a deep realization of a critical choice point for myself, I dove right into the astrology, like way deeper. It's 000 here in London. Hi from London. Hi, Steph. Hello. Hi. Yeah, this energy, it's going to be testing and challenging every one of us in a unique way. And if you know your birth chart, and Steph, I will send you your birth chart as soon as I'm done with this. If you know what house Taurus is in your birth chart, the late degrees, like 28 degrees, between like 20 and 28 degrees, that definitely is where it's being shown in your life, this change. The new moon's initiating a new beginning, so that's a good thing. And this new beginning starts to unfold throughout the moon cycle, which would be up until the next moon. But it's interesting because Taurus, and my Taurus house for me personally, Taurus is a lot about finances. It's about security and safety and stability. That's okay. Take your time. Yeah, Taurus is all about that stuff. And so definitely I got like hit out of nowhere. I mean, I knew eventually it was coming up, but I thought I had a whole nother month, and suddenly my income just stopped. Forces beyond my control for the most part. So I just prayed and sat with like show me what to do, and once I finally like got out from my fear and all of that, I was just instantly guided to ask for help. You do know what to do, and then go fund me and just talk about it, because it is like a critical choice point for me. It's a passion of mine. I do not want to give up. And this energy, when I read to you these notes, is going to be like, it blows my mind, because what I have pulled here are also notes from my actual astrology class, and these were written like 2 years ago, but it's all about Taurus energy, and it's so resonant with my experience. So bear with me. I'm going to read because I have a lot going on all around here. But yeah, these areas of our lives are being amplified right now. Um, and it's, what's really important to us, what is of deep value to us. Also, like really deep desires that we have for ourselves, our lives. There's going to be new insights and awareness that's coming, arising. Bringing back the equilibrium, yeah. Oh, more, it's so weird. This energy, it's like I feel like I'm steering a ship, and I'm like, doing okay, but I'm trying not to crash it into something. But new insights, new awareness, like I'm like, oh my god, this is happening, I have to actually act, but not react. Of course, internally I reacted a lot, um but then when I got my shit together, I was able to make conscious, guided choices, and I started to receive from people. Thank you, all of you, um, which really just lifted whatever crap was like crouching down on me. Fear, like, frozen. I don't know what to do, so do nothing, but that's not me, kind of thing. Yeah. Um, so whew, what a day. But then the support that I was receiving, and the financial support that I've received, I just broke down in tears, and like, but in a beautiful way. Just the amount of like, because honestly, the big fear of mine is, I see what's happening here on the planet, and what's what the world is seems to be coming to, and I know that I can be of help to those who are ready. You have to be ready to receive what I'm giving, and not everybody's there, and I totally get it. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, I've had very painful experiences in my past, out in other realms of life, that I didn't want to revisit, and I had to, and it's all good. But hi. So anyway, back to my notes. um yeah, choices we're getting ready to make, as far as like our next steps on our path, they start to reveal themselves through this new moon energy. So we're being pulled into multiple different energies, as I speak, since yesterday or the day before. And again, it's fluid. Time is fluid, because sometimes I really pre-wave these energies a lot, way ahead of other people, and other times I'm just right spot on the degree points, like when something shifts, I'm right there. I know. Thank you so much, Steph. Thank you all for all, like, the support is just, um it warms my heart, because it shows me, and I do know that, community, we're building community, and I'm not good at asking for help, especially that. I mean, that to ask for financial help, support, was like pulling all my teeth out. It really was. But I'm kind of relieved that I got over that hump, um, because this is important. It's important to me, and I know that it's important to other people too. And that's not coming from an ego place. It's coming from my heart, because I do see the state of the world and the state of a lot of people still. Um, However, and I know the journey. I know the journey from awakening from one point, being one certain way, and realizing yourself. And that's where I can kind of come in and help people at that point. Oh, thank you. um this Taurus energy has us looking for stability, and this is important. This is an important aspect as a human here. Safety, security, to be able to rely on something or someone or a community as far as support. And this is astrology. This isn't even my experience, but it's so spot on my experience. I had to come on here and just share with you what I've come up with. We have very, very strong Taurus energy. We have Jupiter, the North Node, Mercury, Uranus, the Sun, and the Moon all in Taurus. It's a lot. It's a lot. So those areas of our lives are being just completely bombarded with the Taurus energy right now, looking for stability, for safety, for security, and the ability and the being able to rely on something or someone as far as support. And it's different from codependency or dependency. We humans are designed to work together, as all nature is. So you see animals, they're not just, most animals run in herds and packs and flocks and swarms, and they rely on each other. So anyway, very strong Taurus energy, which is ruled by Venus and Libra. This represents survival and recognition of the built-in in our human design needs for that we all possess, this need for survival, and also the unique relationship of our own needs and how that relates to other people's needs. See where I'm getting at? How we're all connected in that way. You know, we're not supposed to be individual and independent. This is why we're all convoluted and all over the place, and robots are trying to take over all of us. Seriously, saying this, I could be banned from doing this video. No joke. Yes, Taurus is in the finances, very strongly in the finances. And it's our survival, you know? So when we recognize our own needs and desires, we also recognize that we also have aspects of ourselves that need to be needs support. And that was one of my hard, like, I live alone. I navigate my life alone, and I don't look to support, but there's a deep innate need inside of me, an aspect of me that's like, I do, and it's okay to ask for that. And I had that very deep awakening insight on myself this morning. So we're on our needs and our desires and the aspect of ourselves. So survival is the root of Taurus. So while we journey through our lives, we start to recognize that we have basic general needs that have not been met. They haven't been met in childhood. They haven't been met in certain relationships and certain jobs and in aspects of life. That we've kind of swept under the rug, or we just said, oh, well, that's how my life path is. And it's, you know, we're not doing ourselves we're doing ourselves an injustice by not recognizing unmet needs, and also our needs for our evolutionary growth, you know? Yeah, independence is really what has kind of ruined me in a way, because I recognize the need for others in my life deeply, not just surface levelly. So that's something that gets embedded in us now, that this independence is what we're supposed to strive for. That's like a strong, especially women, right? Like a strong, independent woman. No, we're separating ourselves from our needs of connection when we do that. And I've done that. I'm actually coming out of that now, is how I know that, you know? But it's sold to us like everywhere, in advertising, marketing, on movies and TV and all of that stuff. And I fell for it because I was disappointed by people in a young age, and I wanted to take control of my life and not have to rely on anybody to and never be disappointed again, right? I don't know how many of you have that same story, but I'm sure there's a lot of us that do, you know. um right, yeah, because I've been stabbed in the back a lot. Yep, yep. Yeah, I mean, we all have that lesson at some point in time, but what does it do to us? You know, how does that shift and change our life path at that point? It's a matter of going back to that point and retrieving that aspect of your soul. Like, thank you very much. I'm going to take this back. I do have these needs. You know what I mean? It's it's deep. So Venus represents our own personal relationship to ourself, how we inwardly communicate to ourselves, our self-talk. You know, is our inner dialogue conditioned by the outer world? Yeah, for sure. And this is what's being, well, I'm revealing this. It will be revealed to others too. But yeah, it's been kind of programmed in me, or traumatized into us, you know, that these things, and the way we talk to ourselves, the way we put ourselves down. Because I'll tell you what, when I realized I didn't have the money to renew my website, the first thing that popped up in me was like, you're such a loser. Why can't you get anything right? I mean, that's the kind of internal dialogue that started off. And I actually kind of shocked myself. I'm like, knock it off, you know? So I mean, I was able to shake all that off, but I'm just sharing, you know, my journey through this, from the moment I woke up this morning to now. And ironically, it's part of the astrology notes, which I'm actually getting to, yeah, getting to my class notes, and it all coincides. So anyway, I'll keep going. Yeah, is the way we talk to ourselves, this is conditioned by our outside world and our past experiences. South Node, Scorpio. Speaking of Scorpio, you know, and also question, like, not even questioning. Well, question to yourself. I had to question myself. Do I feel like I have the potential to do something? Hell yeah, I do. But then the the crazy technology, like, I can make excuses all I want, but it is my truth, my experience is like the crazy technology and all of this. Like, I know how everything is changing so fast. Even if you go to the store, the grocery store, I had to stop in the craft store this morning, and the lady was like, every week I come in here and everything's moved and everything's changed, and there's only one cashier who really isn't supposed to be a cashier anymore, because it's all self-checkout. Like, everything is robotic, and I'm like, oh, where what is happening? I feel like I'm on a sci-fi movie right now, you know. I feel like your chart is in a loop of return right now. Well, this is a big karmic return. Oh yeah, everything's coming full circle for a lot of people. All of us, in one way, shape, or form. You'll start to realize, I understand now. And you'll see old aspects of yourself, like, and I used to be this way, and you'll see your growth also. And that's really like why we have this slowdown period right now. I don't know about you guys, but like, it feels more relaxed for me than like sluggish and I can't do anything. It's more like I get up and I do what I need to do, but then I feel okay if I need to just take a break, and I'm chill. I've spent a lot of time in nature, and I think for me it helped that my mom had come for a visit for 2 weeks, and she lives very far away, so I don't see her very often. So the universe always shifts us into these gets us prepared for things. We don't always know that, but if you had like unexpected things, or people visiting you, or unexpected travel plans, places and stuff, that's because like the stage is being reset right now, and we're not really sure exactly what the next set is going to look like. But we have this new moon, and in my 50th year. This new moon is a potential for it's initiating a new beginning of a new cycle. It's going to unfold one step at a time as this cycle rolls out. So opposite Taurus is the energy of Scorpio. And ironically, I am a Scorpio sun, and the South Node is in Scorpio. I've been battling with the South Node all year, and the North and South Node will be moving signs in just a few weeks, actually. So this is quite intense energy at the end. Well, now North and South Node go the opposite way, but regardless, before it's turning into the next sign. Scorpio is the counterpart. It's the balancing energy of Taurus. It's its polarity or opposite. And Scorpio energy shows us that in order for something to survive, it needs to have something else to merge with it and empower it. This is the merging energy. Now, this is from my astrology class. And then I have C notes for more. It's the merging energy. So that's in this energy, we have different aspects that all coincide with the main energy that we're dealing with. So not only are we dealing with Taurus, we're dealing with Scorpio. Not dealing with, we're experiencing, sorry. We're experiencing these energies. Then the Pisces energy in the natural zodiac to Taurus is, that's the very essence of our existence. It's our connection to our soul, getting in touch with our spirit and our soul. So we do have a lot of beneficial and supportive energies in doing this as well. And if you are if you have heavy Pisces in your chart, you'll be experiencing this a lot more. It's beautiful. You're flowing. It's very fluid. And then we have Libra, which is the external need. It's in conjunction to Taurus, this energy here. Oh, we just got an earthquake in Guatemala. Okay. Earthquake in Guatemala just now. Anyway, the Libra energy, it's the external need. So it's not seeing the connection, instead meeting other people's needs. So this is showing us where we have been stuck, because a lot of people feel stuck right now in this energy. It's kind of it is sort of slow and sluggish in certain aspects of life, for sure. And this is showing us that we're not seeing the connection of what life is trying to show us in this instance, and instead meeting other people's needs, or not having our needs met. There's no equal give and take, because something outside of ourselves is not empowered, or someone outside of ourselves is not empowered. Whatever's pulling us back into the South Node energy. And it doesn't have to be a person. It could be a substance, an addiction. It could be work. It could be, porn. I know, who knows? Whatever pulls you in a place and takes you away from making connections in life. I'm not knocking any of those things. I'm just giving examples here. In order to feel empowered, we do need to express externally what is lacking within. If we don't express what we need, what has been lacking from within, we're not even going to activate our own self-empowerment. So it's about expressing our needs. And then we have the Leo energy, which is in a square naturally to Taurus. And I'm just talking about the energy in general in the natural zodiac. This is all about validation. After expressing our needs externally through the Libra energy, we'll need someone or something to validate it. For instance, the baby is hungry and it cries. That the validation is that it's being fed or its diaper is being changed. It's expressing what is needed. How much of your life have you spent externalizing your needs and have not received validation? The Taurus energy teaches us to recognize these needs. And then the Leo energy shows us how to receive the validation to those needs. So it's not about temper tantrums or fits. And I'm going to mention this because of the Mars energy, especially when Mars moves into Leo shortly after this new moon. There's a lot of frustration in this Mars energy, a lot of anger, a lot of pent up frustration. And so we're trying to work through these emotions now so there's not as much dramatic self-expression when we fully move into this fixed grand cross with Mars then in Leo. That's like, a lot of people are going to feel like they want to hermit or stay away from people. Follow your instincts and your intuition in this energy. And we're already in it. It's just when Mars moves into Leo, I think that might be Monday, Sunday or Monday. I'm not sure of the date. You're in a ghost town, Leo moon. I'm a Leo moon too. 7 things of negative energy is what I say. Yeah, the sun just started up again today. So yeah, that is exactly what we're experiencing, but I have more. There's more here. The Taurus new moon on Friday, plus all of the other planets that are in Taurus. It's really showing us something for each of us that we've been already deeply working on or working through reprogramming our minds, like changing perspectives, healing, like meeting our needs as best as we can, expressing ourselves as best as we can, reprogramming our minds around our own self-value and self-worth is really what this is. Self-empowerment. But we do have to ask, we're going to all be looking for some form of support in this energy. Jupiter's in Taurus and it's squaring Pluto, who's in retrograde in Aquarius. This energy is like a springboard towards truth, towards change, towards transformation. This energy is going to be pushing us to be really, really honest with ourselves and about our self-worth, about our desires, about our needs, and take a stand for those things for ourselves. Again, not in a, manipulative or angry way. Be mindful of the Mars energy, but more like, no, this is who I am. Like, just embody it. Feel it in your solar plexus. It also is going to springboard us in. I feel like I've already been springboarded into this, into asking for help, to speak up, to stand strong in something, hold your ground in something. And Jupiter tends to bring us, it's the benefic, it tends to bring us gifts when we're following the soul, path. When we do speak up or stand up for ourselves. So there's support that could be coming in when we do this, beneficial circumstances and, all kinds of things. However, there's always a polarity to energy. So I want you to be mindful of this too, because this energy is highly charged. There's a lot of fire here. And there's a lot of, with Mars. The polarity of this energy is when we become too stubborn. The ego, when we're listening to the ego and we become too stubborn with like refusing to change, refusing to budge, refusing to move, refusing to do anything, stay in as a victim, all of those things. That energy will not be of benefit to anybody. It's really flexibility right now is key. It's really needed to navigate because this is big change energy. And you just don't know what's gonna you don't know what's gonna surprise. We're getting a lot of surprises. Uranus and Taurus, unexpected events. So what else do we have here? Big changes. Yeah, we're all kind of rolling into these big changes. And for me, I'm seeing it at least very strongly in two different aspects of my life, but it could be in four, it could be in multiple different aspects of life. And it seems like, oh my God, too much is changing all at once for some people. Just depends on your journey, you know? Yeah, ego is fiery today. Yeah, I mean, we're in this energy now. It's charged, man. It is charged, and I've seen it. I mean, I haven't seen it like come at me, but I've had people vent, even strangers today. Like, I just hold the energy of the witness, the sacred witness. I realized this down the road. At first, I'm like, why do people always tell me their problems? But when I was humbled enough to know that I have the energy of the witness, just to listen. People have this stuff that comes up and it comes out, and they're directed towards me. And I can handle it. I know how to transmute it, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, that I discovered, but it was not an easy path to come to that realization. It's funny now, but you know, that's my journey is pretty funny. And not, I mean, there's a lot of, yeah, but it's good when I have the ability to make light of things from the past that I've learned from, especially myself. It's always about myself, right? No more suffering. I know. Well, we are the source of our own suffering, and I know that. I was reminded of that this morning. I mean, my day could have just went all the way down the tubes, and I could have like stayed in bed, like, you know, I saw all the patterns that came up that wanted to take hold of me, and I was just like, no, I've had enough of all you characters. Go away. I'm going to get through my day. Mars is in Cancer. So we have a lot of feminine energy going on right now. There's not a whole lot of masculine energy. Mars is frustrated. Mars is angry. Mars is tired. Mars is resentful at times. But there's a lot of energy that's also here supporting us to letting go, including Pluto. So allow yourself to let go. Follow that supportive stream of letting go. The ego is strong, but we are becoming way stronger. So there is like a balancing act that's happening right now. Yeah, what else? I just wanted to give a little bit of heads up on this energy. Because I mentioned the Mars energy, Leo Mars. Opposing Pluto, squaring Jupiter and the North Node. And this can be really dramatic. It's going to act as a catalyst for change. I mean, that's a positive. So I don't like to put a negative on it, but there's potential, very strong potential for strong emotional reactions and anger that can arise due to circumstances beyond our control. Now, I had this experience and I had to come to terms with it too, and there was nothing I could do about it. Nothing at all. And I tried. Trust me, I tried. We really have to sit with it and deal with it presently at the time that arises instead of getting stuck into it. And also be mindful of what you're engaging in this week, and if you're in conflict with others, what that conflict is about. Is it really important? I highly, strongly suggest not engaging in those things this week or ever. But I mean, sometimes we do have to stand up for ourselves. But give yourself time to process a lot of the emotions that are coming through right now, especially before the eruptive energy comes through, which is later on in the week. And some are experiencing it now. I must say, I have had witnessed a lot of that off and on in public and through other people. But then I've seen it all. It's kind of all over the place right now as far as what I'm witnessing in others. But it's there. The energy's there. We want to be really self-aware. This is kind of a test of self-awareness too in this energy. Try not to take things personally, because and they are going to feel very personal. It's a test. So try not to take it personally. It's going to be really hard. It really is. That's why it's like practice the pause, deep breath, and you're like, all right, we are in class. We were in a final exam, and here's like a sneak attack, something. Just breathe through it. But don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Yeah, try to get to a higher ground, like, in the building consciously when this energy arises. And it's present in the energy now, but we have a few more days of it. So all this energy can have us, feeling like we're stuck in something and like there's nowhere to go, or can also have us wanting to, like I said, hermit, feel it out. If you're like, no, I don't really feel like I want to engage in, like, I don't feel like I want to be around people today. That's okay. It's not like you don't like people, but there's some days where it's like, I need to be with me, you know? New moons seem to kick my butt more than full moons for some reason. Well, you might be in fixed energy, because new moons are about change, and fixed energy does not adapt to change, does not like change very much. So yeah, it would depend on your, other energies too in your chart. I tend to feel that way too, and fixed Scorpio. New moons seem to be more challenging than full moons. Full moons I enjoy, actually. My son was born on a full moon, and he gets woken up. He cannot sleep through full moon his whole life. He's just like, what is with the moon? So let's do a reading. Oh wait, I have a couple more things here. You could feel stuck or wanting to hermit, hide away from it all. The sun is going to be moving into Gemini on Sunday. Yes, the 21st. So that's new energy. That opens up to a whole new experience. So we're not in this energy for very long. That's good. And I know from experience that once I go through the experience and I understand the experience that I just had and what I was supposed to learn from it, then it's just like things start to breeze on through. Unless you want more to worry about, which I've learned, like, don't create that for yourself. I love sleep. I love full moons. I love sleep. That's funny. Yeah, so the energy is going to really shift and move. Pluto is really strong, has been, but it's really strong lately. And that energy is going to be the dominant energy in all of it. Pluto is the will of the soul, not the ego, of the soul's evolution. So this is going to be interesting energy for anybody that's super, super stubborn. I know from experience also, or out of fear, when the soul speaks, it's time to listen. And you can tell the difference. You can feel the difference. We all do know the difference. It's just depending on how deeply connected you are to yourself, which highly suggests, if you're not feeling like you know yourself, to take time to get to really know yourself. It's not going to take very long. It's the will of the soul's evolution, and it's not going to ease up until we hear our soul speak to us. Our soul's always speaking to us, but this Pluto, woo. And also move with the changes that we're being pushed in. It's almost as if there's a push, and most of us don't have a choice in what we're being pushed into or out of, depending on the circumstance. Sorry, my lips are so dry. And Pluto is squaring the North and South Node for the rest of this year. So that's that push-pull energy that I've been talking about. Finances are strongly highlighted through this Pluto squaring the nodes as well. The financial markets, the craziness. I mean, I think in some countries, paper money is no longer used, but it's not only no longer used, it's illegal, or you get fined for, I don't know if this is true or not, but like some of the stories that are coming back to me are like, what? This is happening really fast, like super fast. My Pluto in Libra, I do need balance. Yeah, my Pluto's in Libra too. You're part of my generation. Yeah, that push-pull energy, past versus future, direction, attitude, all of that good stuff. So yeah, fun times. Let's get a little bit of a read on this energy collectively. I know that everything, I mean, I can see a lot of the the facets of things and how they're shifting and turning. And I get a lot of visuals there. So I feel very safe and secure with that. I feel very safe and secure in my spiritual connection and my psychic senses and my visions and what I hear, because I'm very clear hearing and seeing, well, more clairaudient than anything. But that is one thing that's the only thing. No, I'm just kidding. But that's one main thing that I feel very safe and secure in and with, which is a blessing, because that is my navigational system of life. And many people, including family and friends, don't always understand why I make certain choices or decisions or anything, because they don't understand that I'm following and reading the energy and not doing what the logical minded person would do. It's okay. I'm so used to not being understood in that way, but I trust myself now, where in the past I would like second guess or question myself, even though I already knew that I had to, like, I trusted myself more than I trusted anybody else. That's for sure. Preparing for the future while staying present. Keep a hold and all will be well. Bringing back optimism. Yes. Oh, yes. It's important to be optimistic. I mean, what choice do we have, really? If we all just live in doom and gloom, we're like, we're done. Might as well just pack it in right now. I do love life and all of the beauty that life has to offer. in so many different ways. And I've seen like so much of life so far. And I'm only 51. I know that there's more to see and experience. That's amazing. Um, and I think that is definitely a blessing to have been given those opportunities to see and experience all that I have, because I can see it from other people's perspective of like feeling really boxed in and closed in when we're, when we are children. We have such an expansive imagination, but then as soon as we're put into school or some kind of program or condition, we're being squeezed into our vision as only like this much of life and the world. And over time we start to see a little bit more, but we're beginning to like really expand more and more and more and more, and your perception, the way you judge things, everything just gets like wow. And then you reflect back like, I used to think the world was flat. I don't know, just giving an example. It's part of evolution. It's simple in this crazy world. Yes. Hmm. Yes. And when you play with life, when you have a sense of humor with life, it plays back through people and experiences and events. And that's how you play the game of life. It's not plan and prepare for so far ahead and then work, 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 and not live life, like stay with blinders on to everything else. And that's part of the program. I keep living my life, but keep this knowledge that you have helped me get to understand at the forefront of what I do and when to do it. I have a very happy life. Aw, I love you, Steph. Yes, because you're understanding how to actually engage with life, instead of like pre-planning and then not engaging with life. That's a very I had to experience that for a bit, but I never stayed really well in that kind of energy that I see most people really in. So yeah, life gets colorful and fun, All right, let's see what comes through for the collective. Step out of your comfort zone. Yeah, North Node. We are definitely being called to step out of our comfort zone, for sure. That was my experience today. And you know what? It wasn't that bad. It was not even close to as bad as what my ego mind was telling me. And now there's a sense of release and relief. Wasn't that bad after all. I mean, think about it. Think about anything, like even when you're a kid and you're like standing in line to ride some ride and you're gonna do it, but you're like terrified and you keep second guessing yourself. Like, I don't think I belong on this ride, but then it's your turn and you get on and all of a sudden it's like amazing. It wasn't even close to being as scary as it was, as you thought it, as it looked, or your mind was telling you, and then you want to get on it again, kind of thing. I did make the doomsday thought process, and that didn't work for me. So I've learned to take the knowledge and use it to my advantage without living an unhappy life. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we all have to experience that. The doomsday approach that's just living in fear, and then you get angry and bitter. It's like, what's the point? Why am I here? It's It's part of life. I think we had to have these experiences to rise above them and then see how others stuck in it, understand it because we have been there. I think that's why I've had so many experiences in my life. I mean, so many, but none of them, like, just you name it. I could write books. Maybe I will one day. But I had to have them because now when I'm like engaging with others or helping others, I get it. I've been there. I find myself saying it so much, even when I'm doing readings. I'm like, I've been there. And I know that that's comforting to other people, and they energetically know I've been there. That's that having a connection. That helps to heal, you know? Yes. Nothing happened. You wasted so much precious time out of your life. Right. How many times have you done that? Because I've done that more than once. And then you're like, damn it, I did it again. Step out of your comfort zone. I really love this energy. I feel this like light, bubbly energy just came through. And my heart chakra is like, lighten up. What else do we have for collective? This is exciting energy. I felt this. Okay. Yesterday and the day before, for the last couple days, I had this sense of like excitement, almost like a kid before Christmas, like something's coming, something's changed. Like it felt really awesome. And it had this great kick to the energy, it was fun and lighthearted. Step out of your comfort zone. I got the same sensation right now. And I kept getting like my heart, was like, felt like somebody was sending me love bombs, like energetically. My heart just kept getting like flutters and stuff. Oh, I love you guys. And here we have Leo energy. Confidence is your key to success. What I tell you, we're being pulled through some stuff to show us how we actually are talking to ourselves, viewing ourselves, self-doubt. It's all about self-awareness and like how we treat ourselves internally, externally. That's how we're going to be, that's how we're being treated by others in my life. So this is all self-love. It can be uncomfortable sometimes. I know for me, it's uncomfortable to receive gifts. And I don't even know why. A time for healing. Well, that's probably why. These things come up. We ask ourselves a question. I do anyway. And then suddenly, like, as soon as I'm done this reading, the answer is going to come to me anyway. But it is a time for healing. We're going through a deep healing. And look at the Pisces energy. Balance spirituality and practicality. So this is the balance of life. As above, so below. If we stay on the below plane, disregarding the connection to the spiritual aspect of life, it's stagnant, it's boring, and it's like, it really, I don't like it. I don't like it personally. But I imagine a lot of people are living like that. So we are being kind of balanced out, equaled out, and healing whatever it is that we Pluto, especially in the North Node changes signs, but right now, this is critical degree of moving into a newer version of ourselves. Still ourselves, but a more evolved, um, wise, confident, non-egotistical way, human. Because I don't know how about you guys, but how, we've all been beaten down at certain point. Life is tough, especially for many of us in the beginning. And we get beaten down by so many different aspects of life. Ooh, which one do we want to use? Okay, we are going to the Oracle because I'm at 55:55. And so we'll wrap this up. But I want to thank you guys so much for being here with me. I know I'm not alone, but it can just sometimes become a lonely journey at times, or seem that way until we come out of our cocoon and start to open up again to the outside world, to others. That's my process anyway. Again, a lot of Scorpio energy. Worn down. Fire in your belly this past 3 years. Oh yeah, me too. Since 2018. And I executed a lot of the things, but then things had to like change and, morph and shift into more and more and more. And by 2019, I was reading tarot a lot and channeling and really getting in touch with myself and learning about my energy and a lot of passion. I have books I've written, like I've got stacks and stacks and stacks of notebooks of things that just poured out of me. Has to do with healing, the body, the mind, the spiritual, and it's good stuff. So that was another reason why I was like upset about my website, because in the blog section, I did a lot of this sharing, and it's all still on there. It's like really good stuff. I'm not saying that again for my benefit. It was stuff that helped me in aspects of my journey. And it's depending on where you are at the journey, but at the same time, a lot of times we get guided back when we spiral, because lifetime is like a spiral. It's not straight. So we return to things, and sometimes I'll get guided back to pick up an old book I've already read a few times, and I'll go to a specific page and I highlighted something there and it's very resonant to what I needed to hear at that moment. So we always kind of go back to old tools, old things that just really, really helped a lot to out of a sticky situation, out of like a mind rut. 2018 for you too. All my thoughts that I always had came to the forefront. Yes. Yes. And there's like waves of us that there's a bunch of us that have had the same awakening moments and not exact experiences, but it's like I see it as like a big umbrella. And then there's other waves that, it's fascinating. I like the popcorn analogy. It's like popcorn in the first only a couple kernels pop open, and then over the time with the heat, more and more pop open, and then the heat's cranked up and they're all popping. So I see that as far as like humans awakening consciousness, like pop, 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 pop. And I'm experiencing that with like people. It's really nice to see that. Okay. Wow. These cards almost look like they belong together. Great big love and sacred reverence. Look at that. I'm going to read sacred reverence first. Jeez, I just like felt very humbled all of a sudden. This is, okay. Looking at the world, do you see all of life or only a limited part? When you look at a blade of grass, do you see just the plant? When you encounter a puppy, do you see just an animal? While this categorizing is one way of viewing the world, it is only a fraction of the truth. It isn't enough. Look closer. You'll observe the luminosity immanent in these living, sentient beings. If you can allow yourself to take in all the world, including its spirit, then you see the whole. Reverence is an act of deep witnessing, respect, and awe. You experience it when you perceive every being and everything, every plant, rock, and tree, as sacred and alive. You naturally lean into the state of bliss and harmony and a profound sense of well-being. Whatever your dilemma or question, try to reframe your perspective to acknowledge the spiritual. If everything has value, including your most frustrating challenges, would you still ask your question from the same place? Can you regard the other as sacred, thereby erasing the separation between you? Embracing the perfection of how you came together is the real magic, and you are tapping into this unity right now. No matter who or what is in front of you, see that person or thing as luminous and your interaction as holy. Then you will know what to do for the highest good of all. And I'm telling you, I am like, my whole body just heated up. There's a lot of big energy in that message. That was beautiful and powerful. I mean, I can get silly and goofy, but when the energy shifts into something more sacred, it really takes a hold of me. All right, one more. We have great big love. Love heals all wounds, begins all life. It sustains you when you're starving for grace, when you stumble and fall, and when you lose sight of your purpose and fall prey to the limited perspective of the ego. Now is the time to fall in love and call in the awareness of the great big love that made you, which is ever pulsing through your veins. There's a heightened sense of awareness in the beginning stages of a relationship when nothing else matters but who is in front of you. You see them, you see yourself in them, and you move in sync with the cadence of your hearts. You surrender to the magic you share. You surrender to the magic you share and engage in a harmonious dance that is seamless in its movements, rising and falling with each moment, each breath. Although this card may portend such an intimate connection, you don't have to wait for a partner to experience it. You're being invited now to explore love in all its beauty. Can you love without conditions, without needing things to be perfect? Do you love your life, what you do, and how you contribute to the world? Today, invite love with a capital L into your inquiry. You will be amazed, and your very question may be changed as a result. Love is the strength you need today, the lens you must look through to find the truth and your way. Love is the way, and the only answer. Wow. Wow. So those answered my questions. I don't know about you guys, but it all comes back to love, and self-love is number one priority. And I feel like there's a lot of supportive energies that feel like life is wanting to romance us in some way. Wants us to engage and fill our cup up ourselves, because the connections, the unity is growing stronger and stronger between actual human beings as the robots start to take over all the other people and things. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to end this live stream so I can lay down. But thank you guys all for joining me and tuning in and engaging. And so, like, this is great energy, and I love your energy and your support. And we will ride these waves together. That's right, we are deserving. So, sending out you guys so much love. Take care. Have a good night or good morning or wherever you're at in your day. Good night. Bye.